Hello and welcome, my fellow blue veins. Now, I'm not trying to stay with the whole celebrity gossip thing. I'm noticing that that tends to be what people like to talk about, though, so I'll talk about it. And, it's not like I'm not a normal citizen of, the US who has, access to pop culture. I can get into it too. I just tend not to be that wrapped up in that sort of thing, just generally. I don't, I usually stream stuff or, watch random stuff I'm interested in on YouTube. So running into new shows, new things like that, it's really not what I end up doing these days. I tend to rewatch a lot of things. But when it comes to people from my past, especially my fellow mixed folks, I'm going to speak on it. And this is about Tia and Tamera. Now, I grew up watching Sister Sister. I think almost everybody knows what that show is in this country. And I actually didn't see their reality show. I know they have one. I know reality shows aren't really real like that, so it just kind of puts me off of them in general. So, yeah, I never paid any attention to that. But they have a reality show. I don't know if they did anything else. I just know I remember them from my childhood very fondly. They were some of the few mulatta representations we had. My hair was similar-ish and, similar-ish complexion. The funny thing about being mixed is, especially in the 90s and whatnot, 80s, more 90s for me, like, everybody was the same. I remember being compared to the two most prominent mixed people at the time. People would always say I looked like either one of the Mowry twins. I know they have different last names now, although the one is divorced. Tia's divorced, so I think she's back to Mowry, but I think Tamara's like Housley or Housley or something like that. I don't know. So at the time, though, they were the Mowry twins. So I would always get compared to either looking like one of the Mowry twins or Mariah Carey. And I don't look like either or any of them. But, that's just how people tend to be. They're just like, oh, you're kind of off-white and sort of wavy curly, and I don't really know what to do with your features. So, yeah, you all look alike. It's wonderful. So, I remember them very fondly, though. Loved that show. And so, I could speak on them. They still are a memory for me, even though I haven't really been involved in anything they've been doing recently, other than just I know Tamera married that white guy, that Housley guy. I don't know his last name like that. I'm going to need to do a little more research before my videos next time. But that Housley guy is white. I think he was like a news anchor or something. And Tia got with the black guy. I think he was like I actually don't know his name at all. And like I can see his face. I know what he looks like, but I don't remember his name. But the point is, once again, note to self, a little more research before these videos. But I like to kind of be off the cuff and just kind of like come and talk because, I don't like losing my train of thought, having to think things through too much and do too much writing and planning ahead. I feel like that's a little too forced. I don't know. If you want scripted TV, there are better budgets out there. Like why? So anyhow, but I'm going to try. So anyway, I know that Tia was with the black guy. Something like that. I remember it begins with an H. So, and he was like some sort of struggling actor. I just know that when I saw them get married, because that was the only thing I really caught up with them recently enough, I just found it interesting because this is a whole other video I want to do about like mate equaling fate. And it was very, this happens a lot with mulatto siblings. One will choose a white partner, one will choose a black partner. And just to see the trajectory and how their lives turn out. And of course, it's not just color, it's not just skin deep. There's a whole lot that goes with the mate choice and how that affects things, education and culture and all of that, values, of course. But, look at some statistics. There are certain patterns and verified variables that tend to go along with the certain races. And so I like to kind of watch and see, hedge my bets, see kind of how things are going to go. But there tends to be a predictable trajectory with the way these pairings tend to go. So here we have Tia, the one who got recently divorced, and she was with the black man. I forget his name. She is the one who recently came out saying how she can't even like really call her sister. She wishes they were closer or something. And I guess Tamera's giving her the cold shoulder. From what I'm hearing and seeing around these YouTube streets, apparently Tia was selfish and kind of rude always to Tamera on the reality show. I don't know all that about their relationship. Like I said, I only knew of them from the fictional sister show and just kind of learning about what they did as far as their personal life, getting married and that sort of thing. So I didn't know that it was tense like that between them. And it doesn't surprise me, though, that the one who picked Tamera was always more whitewashed, right? Like everybody just kind of knows that. She was always the one who spoke a little more whitewash, as they like to say. She was always the one who, got with the white guy, that kind of thing. And it seems like her interests also kind of aligned with that side of things. And once again, none of this stuff's really color coded, but you know how people are, the stereotypes, and they're just going to see it as that white, black, whatever interests. So Tamera always seemed to kind of align with more of her white side, and Tia always seemed to align more with her black side. It doesn't surprise me that Tamera kind of going into that more quiet life and just not receiving, if it's true, and Tia was in fact a rude sister, taking jabs as jokes and stuff like that at her. I could see how she would end up not wanting to talk to her really anymore and just kind of shrinking instead of being confrontational. Once again, these are all stereotypes, but like they like to say, stereotypes are rooted in some facts. So listen, don't kill the messenger. But and then Tia, of course, she aligned with more her black side, and it seems like she took a more boisterous, wanting to be more in the limelight, wanting to have more attention. And even recently, she posts a lot of stuff trying to get attention online. I don't know. This is just stuff I hear and see on the YouTube streets. And I can see how the one sister then pushed the other sister away and now is once again being a little too public with their personal lives and telling the world that she's not as close to her as she'd like to be. I think you might as well just talk to your sister. There's no point in talking about this sort of stuff to a bunch of strangers who really don't care. But that's neither here nor there. I just know that likely in order for, if this is even true, because you know how this goes with the way a lot of celebrities want to use the tabloids and whatnot and publicity, no publicity is bad publicity type of thing. They're just going to say what they need to say to get relevant again. And, making videos about them certainly helps. So, you're welcome. But if it's true, even, the only way that this rift will probably heal itself is if Tia stops doing the public narcissistic kind of thing. Not really narcissistic. I'm not a psychologist here, but it's, why go to the strangers of the world and talk about this sort of stuff instead of your sister? It seems manipulative, seems strange, seems like a move, like a power move. I don't know. So I call it as I see it, that type of thing. But I'm no shrink. Anyhow, she's taking that approach, and I think that she needs to take Tamera's sort of approach, kind of just pull back from the limelight and try to just be genuine instead of whatever performative BS this might be. So I'm hoping that it's not true. I'm hoping that this was just some sort of publicity grab, publicity stunt. Celebrities that are mainstream these days, they have to compete with people on social media and all other things. So I can understand, and you see a lot more now, a lot of them acting up and coming out with all kinds of confessions and all this other stuff. They've got to stay relevant. Otherwise, they're not going to make any money. I get that. They've got a lot more competition now. So this could be true. This could be false. Always keep that kind of thing in mind. But just to keep it relevant with the fact that, this is a Blue Veins, a mixed mulatto channel, and they're mulattoes, so I'm gonna speak on it. So I'm hoping it's not real. I'm hoping they're just trying to, or at least not they, it's clearly just Tia, but I'm hoping she's just trying to get some money, get a little attention for whatever she needs it on to generate some income. I don't know, but I'm hoping that's not true, because it's a real shame to have an identical twin that you not only grew up with, but were business partners with, and you saying you can't even pick up the phone and call them. That's crazy. I have a lot of family that I am not in the greatest terms with, but I can definitely pick up the phone and call them. Will it be awkward? Slightly. It is what it is, but it's not like, oh my God, I can never even try to broach a conversation. No, that's deeper than a rift. That's some serious, that's no contact. What is that? So I'm hoping that's not true, because that's sad no matter who you are, celebrity or not, to have such a tight bond with somebody and then not be able to even call them. So I'm hoping that that's not true. But if it is, it's going to have to be Tia who stops all this crap and just, chooses her white side and decides to just kind of, once again, I know I'm speaking in stereotypes, but, chooses her white side and just kind of falls back with it, gets a little more private, a little more demure. All these damn trends. But anyway, so that's all I really have to say. It's not even a serious topic, just kind of, pop culture. Everybody likes to see what's up. Shoot the shit about it. Why not? Anyway, Blue Veins, till next time, I'm out.